بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم halkani waa Kownayd Media iyo mar kale run ahaantii waxaan idin haynaa barnaamij aad iyo aad u xiiso leh oo laba qaybood ah barnaamijkan wuxuu ku saabsan yahay xaafadda la yiraahdo Weston xaafadda la yiraahdo Weston kamid ah magaalada Toronto xaafadaheeda ee dalka Canada ayaa xaafadan waa xaafadda ugu da'da weyn ee Canada waxay jirtaa in ka badan 325 sanadood xaafadan Weston waxaa la dhisay ay bilaabatay run ahaantii 1700 markuu ahaa sanadku xaafadani waa xaafadaha runtii halbowlaha u ah ee ganacsiyada Soomaalida deegaanada Soomaalida masaajid badan ayaa ku yaala iskuulo ayaa ku yaala ganacsiyo nooc kasta ah ayaa ku yaala haddaba xaafadan ayaa waxaa iibsaday shirkad weyn shirkado isu tagay oo badan ayaa iibsaday shirkadahaasi waxay damacsan yihiin ama ay bilaabeenba in ay raraan dadka degan Weston run ahaantii Soomaalida guriyo badan kuma lahayn bildamo badanna kuma lahayn oo waqtigii ay guriga raqiiska ahayd lagama faa'iideysan dad yar ayaa ku leh dhismayaal haddaba dhibaatada ugu badan ayaa waxay soo gaadhay masaajidada ku yaala xaafadda Masjid bin Abbas oo isagoo buildingkiisa la iibsaday laakiin nasiib wanaag helay meel kale oo ay degaan oo kaniisad ahaan jirtay ayay iibsadeen haddaba dhibka ugu badan hadda wuxuu ka taagan yahay masjidka la yiraahdo Masjid Rawda waa masaajid ku yaala xaafadda Weston oo in muddo dhisan isla markaana leh school Islamic school leh oo caruurta wax lagu baro lagu tukado masaajid weyn oo run ahaantii rag iyo dumarba labada qaybood leh masaajidkan ayaa dhibka ugu badan la kulmay oo ah meelaha ugu horeeya ee laga bilaabayo in la dumiyo doodeer kadib waxaa la dumin doonaa bisha sanadka soo socda bishiisa Mars 31 deadline-ka ayaa la siiyay haddaba bishaasi waxay ku toosan tahay bisha barakeysan ee Ramadaanka iskuuladiina way u furan yihiin caruurta dhiganaysay Rawda waxaanu codsanay in lagu daro waqti waxaa la ogolaaday in lagu daro bil ama 2 bilood dooda iyo dadkii dhismayaasha iibsaday ayaa waxay dhaxmartay dadkii masjidka ku xidhnaa oo imaamyada ay ka mid yihiin hooyooyinkii iyo aabayaashii caruurta dhalay iyo dadkii muslimiinta ahaa ee xaafadda deganaa haddaba doodan oo af Ingiriis ku baxaysa ayaad nala daawan doontaan waxaa laga doodayaa in waqti loogu daro isla markaana loo helo masaajidka dhulkii uu degi lahaa markay dhismayaashu dhamaadaan waa anigoo ah Kownayn iyo Shaalgeel bal nala daawada barnaamijkan mahadsanidin
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته magacayga waa Dr. Shombe Arso masaajidka oo markii hadda nimankii developmentska Toronto ay duminayaan waa mid aan aad ka xunahay runtii waayo ciyaalka iyo annaga kuwa dukaano iyo quraanka lagu barto marka community dhan baan ahay awood kule ilaahay baa awood leh magaalada Toronto ee dalka Canada marka waa in aan annagu sabor gareynaa in aan masaajidkeena aan maaragtay aan nagala taaban oo aan macna petition aan sameynaa hadii caleed السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته
waxaan la kulmay Muuse ee wariyay Rawda oo taqaanaan dhamaantiin kana mid ah jameecada masjidka ku tukata marka Muuse fadlan waxaan rabaa ku weydiiyo Muuse macnaha maxaa tala ah waad aragtaa xaafadii waa la iibsaday xaafadii oo dhan kambaniyo waaweyn ayaa iibsaday ownership kuma lihin masjidka waad aragtaayo culays baa hadda soo koray oo degdeg ah maxaa tala iyo tusaale ah oo siin lahayd dadka muslimiinta ah ee ku dhaqan xaafadda Weston iyo dadka masjidka ku xiran intaba
bismillaahir rahmaanir rahiim sida arintan loo badbaadin kara hadii aan la badbaadin karinna loo weydiisan lahaa kambaniga halkan iibsaday raba inuu dumiyo masjidka iyo neighborhoodka oo dhan in bisha March oo ay deadline-ka u qabteen in ay ku soo aadi doonto xilli bishii Ramadaan oo dadka muslimiinta ah ee halkan ku tukada ay runtii aad ugu cibaado badan yihiin xilligaas marka haddii kambaniga loo qori karo waraaqo petition ah lagaga codsanayo inay xoogaa dib u dhigaan si loogu diyaar garoobo ka bixitaankii meesha waxaa kaloo arrintan kale weheliya oo jira dhalinyaro yar ah iyo ciyaal yar waxay ku dhigtaan school ilaa elementary ah oo promise-ga uu yani Ontario uu aqoonsan yahay shahaadooyinkeeda oo Islaamic ah kuwa laftigooda dhibaata ka soo gaari doonta halkan duminteeda marka waxay u baahan tahay community-ga inay isu yimaadaan wixii talooyin ah wixii movement ah dhaqdhaqaaqa oo ay ka geysan karaan in arrintan lama joojin karo laakiin dib loogu dhigi karo si loogu diyaar garoobo ka bixitaanka.
So we do want to listen and learn and try to help out as we can. We know a lot of the other landowners in the neighborhood and brokers and such that help with finding space. So I think, first step is to understand how much space you need, parking, kind of other requirements, and then we'll be very happy to reach out to our contacts, including Dream. I'm pretty sure that space is now vacant, so it's kind of an obvious option. But yeah, if we know what you're looking for, I think we'll start doing that immediately. And then we also talked about potentially long term. It's kind of the same process, understanding what you're looking for long term, seeing how that kind of fits, if it can be accommodated or not. I'm not sure. I don't want to overpromise, so I can't promise that we can figure it out. But I think starting the dialogue to figure out what you're all looking for is the first step. And then just on the extension, so the extension was to March. Yeah. Okay. I think that's from a legal paperwork perspective. I think as we communicated in the last meeting, we are very happy to extend it if we can. So thank you for the feedback, understanding that it's kind of at a critical time. I don't want to overpromise right now, but I'm pretty sure we can look at extending it out of at the very least extending it out of the March timeline, given where we're at in the process and obviously kind of the impact to you. So it's good to understand kind of your March timeframe. We were also aware of the end of the school year, and I think in our minds we were already working towards extending to at least the end of the school year. And then we'll have to take it from there, kind of on a we'll have to reevaluate our schedule and hopefully kind of time it to there is impact, but to minimize the impact. So yeah.
Thank you, David, and again, my name is Eric. So I think thank you for asking those questions that you had asked previously about sort of what we're looking for. So I think we do have some basic answers for you today about that as well, and then I'll just comment on the extension. I think overall we're very open-minded to any kind of solution. We're happy to be flexible, but there are some things as a community that we do not want to negotiate about and that we're firm about. So the first thing is to have this place until the end of the school year. We want that in writing as soon as possible. We want that to be a guarantee, and we can figure out the rest afterwards. So that's the first thing about the extension. As far as space, temporarily or permanently, we've looked at the kind of space we need, and we're thinking between 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. Okay. So that's the concrete number. In terms of whether we want to buy or lease, for a permanent space, we do want to buy it. We want to be permanently here. We don't want to be back in the same problem that we're facing today. So we do want to buy it. Of course, a temporary place would be leased. In terms of cost, obviously, temporarily, we want to rent a place at a similar rent to what we're paying now. In terms of the permanent space, and this is, of course, one of the most important points, you talked about budget and things like that. For us, something that we're firm about is that the place we would buy in the new building would be at cost. So we would pay whatever it costs to build it, but that part of the building would not be a place where you're making any profit off of, because this place was already here when you came, and it will remain. It's going to be a huge building with all kinds of opportunities for profit, and we're not asking for a huge space. If it's going to be 40 stories tall, like the plan is, whether it's a condominium or, as you're saying now, potentially a rental building, whatever it is, this will not throw a wrench in your project, and you owe it to the community. So we don't have a specific number about what our budget is, But we are firm that we want it, whatever it costs to build it, we will pay it. But in terms of making money off of that, we don't think it's appropriate. We don't think that's fair. So that's the ideal. Now, ideally we want a space in the new building. If there's a place now that you can purchase for us in a way that works, that's affordable, that has the necessary space, and it would also suit our needs based on zoning and everything else, we're open to those suggestions as well, and it will remain open. We don't know where that place would be, but we are happy to speak about it. So we're open-minded, but we do have some firm needs and firm requests, and hopefully that makes things more clear so that we can continue to meet and talk about things. But as far as the other questions you asked, there were some other details about specific facilities. I think that can be worked out. This is the main thing. And we, of course, need to find a solution as soon as possible, given that at some point this lease will end. So I hope that answers some of your questions, and I'm not sure if you want to respond now or if you have to think about it.
No, just let us, especially on the short term, let us try to take away the parameters on the area, 3,000 or 4,000 feet, and start to put some feelers out to see what's out there. And also on the lease side of things, I think we can probably have an answer for that pretty quickly. I think in terms of the future building, like there's quite a lot of things that go into figuring that out. So let us take that back and look into it.
It's good to see you again, David and David. So I'm new to the community, and I've only known them for a few months. And as you can see, they're just the nicest people you'll ever meet, right? For a developer to be given all these different options, right? It's just not normal. Most people would not give you all these choices, right? And I think, looking at this, right, they're being very generous in their offers to you guys as far as options. And I think you should pay them back for that. So a masjid in the Muslim community is a bit different than a church in the fact that it's a community center, it's a prayer area, which means not just on Sunday or Friday, but it's 5 times a day, right? It's a school, it's a community center. So it's the heart of the community, right? If you take it away, you've taken the heart out of the community and the community will die, right? So that's not an option. So they're giving you all these different options where you could continue working with the community so that they could continue working themselves with the community. I personally would not have given you all these options, right? And I've been trying to, in my own head, try to figure out what is the best option for this masjid and this community. And what is the best option for you, right? So that way you don't have to keep working on this. So I think the best option for you is this. Find a place that is suitable to be a masjid in this area, buy it, and gift it to the community and get them off your back. So find a place. I mean, this building is going to cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's another million or two? Right? Find a building that is a suitable masjid area, a suitable school, a suitable community center, right? That you could buy for this community, right? And gift it to them. And they might even give you a tax-deductible receipt for it, right? And then they could continue and you got them off your back. And they will be supporting you in whatever you want to do in the community, right? So if you want to be a part of this community, I think, be a part of the community, right? And not say, here I'll give you this or here I'll give you that, because, not to be mean, we're not begging, we're not beggars, right? So I think from a developer point of view, somebody who wants to come into the community, somebody who wants to be a part of the community, then be a part of the community, right? Find a place, buy it, gift it, they'll give you a receipt for it, and thank you very much. They'll develop it and they'll actually fix it into a masjid and community center, and they'll carry on with their good work that they do, right? So, like I said, I've only known this community for a few months, right? And they're one of the greatest people I've ever met. And you could tell because none of them has spoken to you the way I'm speaking to you, right? Because they're not the type, you know. But reality is, just think about it. You give them till the end of June. Then you find them a place to rent. So they move to this place to rent. Then you try to find them a place within your building. And then they move back into your building, right?
Yeah, it's disruptive.
Very disruptive, very disruptive. To the school, to the community, to the masjid, to the praying, right? Everything, right? The easiest thing to do, right, is find them a place, permanent, they could move into, right? And they'll move into it, and they will support you in whatever you want to do in this area, right? And then you've got them off your back, and you can do whatever you want in this part of the world. It's easy.